Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I have uploaded content for you guys on YouTube. Um, I've, I've been posting content on Facebook, but Facebook has become so strict now with certain topics. You can't say anything, and also on YouTube. So I'm gonna try my best to say and word everything. And also, it takes forever to upload the videos on YouTube. And, I wanted it to be a little dark, you could see my Christmas tree in the back. I already put up my decor. I absolutely love this time of year, especially Christmas, because, and I know there's a lot of controversy. A lot of people say, oh, well, you're not supposed to celebrate Christmas. But, God hasn't told me anything. I celebrated because of Jesus's birthday. That is, Jesus has done so many things in my life, and I cannot thank him enough. So I just want to be super thankful. And again, I'm drinking water out of a glass wine because that's just the way that I am. So cheers, everyone. Hope these holidays are good for you. But anyways, let's get started on today's topic. Today's topic, I want to talk about the case of Shanquella Robinson. I believe that's her name. And God spoke to me through this case. If you guys are not familiar with her case, she went to Cabo to supposedly celebrate somebody's birthday, which is probably they were gonna celebrate someone's birthday, but they plotted against her, and they beat her to death, and unfortunately she didn't make it home. She died in Mexico in Cabo. So anyways, the reason that God wanted me to talk about this case is because right now, right now is the spirit, or I should say the demon, okay? Because there's demons that operate and influence people. That's how certain people carry out situations, or that's how there's murders, that's why there's rape, that's why there's fights, because there's demons that are behind these people that are following them. Instead of angels, they have demons. And it's not funny, this is very true. Okay, so anything that at first everything happens in the spiritual realm, and then it happens in the physical. So, for example, if God is giving you a dream of something that is happening within your family or a situation, that means it already happened, that it's already happened, and it already transpired, that it's going to happen in the physical. So, I don't know if I'm making sense, but, anyways. So, in this case, we all know the reason why this young lady was murdered. It was because these ladies, the group that she went with, were envious of her. Now, and this is going to relate to a lot of you guys if you guys are going through similar situations. So, Shanquella, or maybe this is you, this is your personality, but I'm going to describe her. So Shanquella was a very outgoing person. You can tell in the videos that she recorded, she was like ready to party. She was a businesswoman. She was very like happy, you could tell she wasn't like all about fighting, or she's just, have you ever met those people that are just like, when they walk in, the room lights up, the energy changes, they're just those people that can make a party happen. So you can tell this Shanquella was the life of the party. So you can just tell that she wasn't about, anything else. So what I'm trying to say here, folks, is the group here was envious of her, and there was a video when she walked in, they were like talking amongst them, and as soon as she walked in, they made like this dirty face. So what God is telling me right now is not the time to ignore signs. If people, family, friends, co-workers, if they are showing you that they don't like you or they have something against you, you need to keep it moving. Do not try to hang around with these people and try to convince them to like you. That is not your job. Your job is not to convince people to like you. Someone can just look at you and already have a description of you. They already did, they on their own mind, they already figure something about you. They can say, oh, I don't like her, or I don't like him for this reason, and that is not your problem. You need to protect yourself, and God told me that He did show Shanquella signs that these people didn't like her. There was animosity every time she would come around them, but she ignored the signs. So even though this is a message for you people that do not have a relationship with God, if you find yourself in these situations where people don't like you, don't try to push the narrative in their face, like saying, look, I am a good person, I'm not going to hurt you. No, 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 no. You need to stay away as far as you can when you notice these signs. Pay attention to the comments that they say to you, okay? Pay attention to how they act around you. If, they're with a certain way with this individual, but then with you, and you have done completely nothing to them, that means they're jealous. They harbor jealousy, okay? And you need to be aware of that, because right now the spirit of jealousy is very active, and you can get murdered because someone hates you. Like in this case, like there's individuals that harbor so much hate towards someone another, towards somebody else, that it will cause them to murder. So there was another case too, where there was a sister that murdered another sister. I mean, they're sisters, and she was carrying a 3-week-old baby. That was her daughter. She had just given birth, and the sister came in and just shot her. And they ended up finding out that the cause of this murder was because her sister was jealous of her. So what I'm saying is, right now is not the time to be spending time with people who are jealous of you, who hate you, and you are going to be able to tell. God is going to reveal to you signs of who doesn't like you, who is envious of you, who is not happy with you. There's a saying that says, go where people celebrate you, not tolerate you. Okay, so this is what's going on right now, folks. Okay, you see it in the news. How many murders are happening, how many there's so many shootings right now that you can't even count anymore. That's how much people are not giving a damn. They don't care. They have nothing to lose. Okay, there are so many Bible verses in the Bible that speak on envy. I mean, why did Satan get kicked out of heaven? Is because he wanted to be like God. He wanted to have everything God wanted. He wanted to take away, the worshiping from the angels. That he wanted all the angels to worship Satan. And, and God said, oh, no, buddy. I have given you your talents. I have given you your talents. You are a very beautiful angel. They said that he was a very beautiful angel before he got cast down to hell. He had the gift of music. He was the main CEO of the whole music in heaven. So Satan was very well gifted with gifts that God had given him. He was gifted with beauty. He was gifted with talent. Um, you know, he was a genius of music, and he still wanted God's power, even though God had given him all these gifts. So how can that relate to our daily lives? Is that's what people, this is what I say, like, this is so crazy. It's like, I'm going to speak about my situation. It's like, I know there is like females that are envious of me, and it's like, you have, I always say this example because it is so perfect. These women that are envious, it's like you have a Porsche or Ferrari or a Tesla. You have a nice home in Laguna, Aliso, that area. If you're from Orange County, Newport, you have a husband, you know, you, you have everything, all the possessions, but you still envy someone that has less than you, meaning me, okay? Why is it? And it's because, folks, you know, possessions is not the answer to happiness, okay? And I always want to tell these people, like, look, if you only had a relationship with Jesus Christ like I do, you wouldn't be coveting me. You wouldn't be envious of me, because then that is when you give yourself to God, he's going to open your eyes, and then he's going to be able to show you your blessings, your gifts. That's why it's so important that we have a relationship with him, because if you don't, you're going to be faced with situations. They're going to be faced situations like this one where, people are envious of other individuals. You are comparing yourself to other individuals, and you're not focusing on the blessings that you have, you know. And I'm going to say a Bible verse that says, a heart of peace goes, no, I'm sorry, a heart of peace gives life to the body. So when you're at peace, that gives life to you, that gives you energy. That having peace in our lives is so important. If you have no peace, you have no life. Okay, so it says a heart of peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. How many of us, or how many people do you know that they harbor this envy, and all they can think about is plotting against that person, and they forget about themselves? They forget about themselves. They forget that they have to take care of themselves, when all their focus is trying to take that certain individual down. Like, that is their mission. So envy rots the bones. It's unhealthy for our body. And I'm just saying, like, not specifically the bones, but overall, like, it just messes you up when you are envying another person, because that envy is causing you to constantly plot against that person. It takes a lot of energy, folks, when you could be investing that energy in yourself. I remember there was a certain, I have so many examples. I remember there was a certain female that, you can tell she took care of herself. She was like in her 40s, and she looked like she was 28. Like, she looked, she was a little bit overweight, but she looked young. Like, I never thought that she was like 40 something when she was 28. And I was like, wow, like, that's good. Like, that, when I see people like that, I'm always like, damn, you go, girl. That's good for you. And I remember that before me and her started conversating, as soon as she found out my age as well, and that I had a daughter, don't get, she has two daughters, and they were like in their early 20s. And then when she found out that I had a daughter that was, in her, she was 18 at the time, 19, her face just changed. Like, she did not like it, but it's like, hello, you look young yourself. Like, and you're still hating on me. Like, it's like, I don't know, folks, that happens all the time. Certain situations where people just get jealous because they feel like, oh, no, 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 I am the only one can look young. I'm the only one that can look this certain way. No other person can look like that. So what I'm saying is, and then after that, she went downhill. She deteriorated after she was so focused on trying to take me down, trying to put me down because of her jealousy. And she no longer was taking care of herself. She wouldn't dress up anymore for work. And before she had found out about all this, she was always dressed up. She'd always look put together. And after that, she found out, about me and that what my age was. She forgot, and her whole focus was just on trying to take me down. And I just saw her, folks, like maybe a week ago, completely let herself go. Completely let herself go. And that is very sad, because like I said, while you need to focus on yourself, you need to work on yourself, and then the results will come. But the only way to see the maximum results is if you have God in your life, folks. When you have God in your life, you're going to experience the most peace in your life, and you're not going to worry about who's doing what or what. So, in this case with Shanquella, it is very unfortunate, but I'm sure she saw signs that, people were envious of her. And, when you notice these signs where people don't like you, it's better to stay away. That should be your cue to stay away. Don't try to force the situation. That's only giving you more stress when you don't need that stress. You just have to keep it moving and just focus on yourself and be with people who truly want to be around you, or people that celebrate you, not tolerate you. So that's one thing that God wanted me to tell you guys about right now. People are killing like it's a hobby. They don't care. They have nothing to lose. And you need to stay away and just pray for protection. Pray for protection, because you never know right now what people might do, because they're so mad, and it's only going to increase. The jealousy and envy is going to increase, friends, to the max, okay? And there's another Bible verse that I want to say that says, do not covet your neighbor's house, okay? Do not covet your neighbor's wife, his male or female slave, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Back in the Bible days, they had slaves, and they had a lot of crops. That's why it's mentioned donkey or whatever. But how we can apply this to our daily lives is that God is saying, hey, look, don't be jealous of people around you. Don't want people, like, oh, he has a better house than me. Like, don't do that, because the more that you're envious of another, the less God is going to bless you. That is what's preventing God from blessing you, is your envy. He will not bless you when you have envy in your heart, or you will not be able to enjoy your blessings because you're so blinded by the envy towards that other individual. So, here you have the house, you have everything, but you're not even enjoying those blessings that God has given you because you are so focused on that other person's life. So that is very important that you do not envy someone else's things or life or the way they look or any of that nature, because you are not living your best life, because you're focused on this. And it's very unfortunate that this young lady lost her life because these women were envious of her. And, you know, that was a wake-up call, because God said this case impacted so many people. And yes, it did. It was literally giving me PSC. What is that word? PSTD. I got a panic attack because it made me kind of scared. And it brought me back to my days when I was in high school, of how I was getting persecuted, how the girls were jealous of me, or, they were doing things to me because of their jealousy. And I was like, oh my God, like it just took me back to a time, and it just started making me panic, to be honest with you. And God says, no, just, pray to me, I will protect you. And that's what God wants us to do. Don't take matters into your own hands, friends. If you have people around you, family members, pay attention to how they treat you, especially right now when you guys go to these Christmas events, to your New Year's parties or family. Pay attention to the comments they say. Pay attention to their body language, how the energy shifts when you walk in. And, that will be your cue to either stay away from them or keep your conversation as minimal as possible. Keep it cordial, like, hey, how are you? But, just, this is not the time. This is not the time anymore, because Satan has authority to take down anyone who he can. And there's so many cases, like the one of the sister that is so sad. So yeah, folks, that's what I wanted to say. That's the message that God wanted me to give you guys. Be very careful around the people that you surround yourself with right now, because you don't want to end up in the grave too soon, too young. Okay? Pray over your family, pray over your daughters, pray over your sons, pray, just tell God, please, God, give the discernment to my children, to my family, to notice the signs of jealousy and envy, because this is the cause of when that causes people to murder other people, is because they hate them for no reason. They want what they have. And it's getting exposed to the core right now. We're only going to see that. And it's going to start more amongst family members. That's where it really starts. Sometimes, in most cases, strangers are the ones who treat you better than your own family. Strangers are the ones that treat you better than your own family. And it's in the Bible. Every story. Look at Joseph. His own brothers sold him because they were jealous of him. So that's all I wanted to say. I want to keep my videos to 24. I have another video that I will record maybe next week or soon. And again, what I always say, guys, choose Jesus today before your death date. And I always say, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Okay? Have a good night. Have a good day. And that's about it. Okay? Bye.